wish him well, and I'm sure he will do very well in his next appointment. Congratulations once more.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Ma, it's your turn. And please let's make our questions straight to the point and leave the preambles, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm grateful. This time of me and my good friend, congratulations.
Thank you.
I have a question regarding the proliferation of small arms. And my question is regarding whether you will have the minister to change the regime, the licensing regime of the small arms. Believe me, whatever we do, we say that if you don't have a license, you can't carry a gun, but the guns we have in the system is amazing. I've just returned from my constituency where some conflict broke out. And I would like you to help your minister support him to come out with change the laws about licensing, either to upgrade it, but not to just say that you won't give out licenses. And also try to decentralize the licensing so that people within far places like Sub district will not need to travel to Tamale, which is the regional capital, to get licenses or pay for their annual subscription. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Rightly so, I am going to support my boss in whichever way to help in taking care of these small arms that we have in the system. Thank you very much.
Another one? Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you. The second question is about barriers by immigration, by customs, and by police. When you start the journey from Tale to Tamale, or you are traveling on Quarry Road, you have immigration officers stopping every vehicle or motorbikes. And sometimes it's alarming. I don't want to tell you the details. I want you to assist your minister to at least tell immigration and other officers what their purpose is. They are not supposed to be doing vehicle or motorbike searching, but they do. And they also set notice. It's amazing. Thank you.
Chair, thank you very much. I believe that our security services do their operations based on intelligence. But that is not to say that some of them do not, I mean, sometimes they don't go wayward. But we would examine the situation and advise appropriately. But as I said, it is true. Sometimes when you come to Parliament and you sit throughout the night till about, let's say, 11, 12, I live in Odumasiko, and I drive along the mountains through Somanya to my place. You go through tough traffic from 37 through airport to Medina. When you get out of Adenta, just when you think you have some relief, there's another traffic. This time around, it is not as a result of the number of vehicles, but police have mounted barriers. One at Oyarifa, another one at Oyibi. When you climb, you get to Osman, there's another one. when you get to like there's another one. Sometimes it can be frustrating. But then they come out based on the kind of intelligence that they have. So we would look at all that and advise appropriately. Thank you very much.
Wish you well.
Thank you. Honorable Patrick Guama, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Chairman, and congratulations, former ranking Environment Committee member. My first question is on naturalization. And if you look at the website of your ministry, has the photograph of your minister, the president and vice president, your acting chief director. But let me read this to you, Chairman, with your kind permission. Subject to subsection 2 of 14 of the Citizenship Act of Ghana 2000, a person qualifies for naturalization if, it's very important, I want Roxanne to listen, he has resided in Ghana throughout the period of 12 months immediately preceding the date of the application. B, during the 7 years immediately preceding the period of 12 months, he has resided in Ghana for periods amounting in the aggregate to not less than 5 years. He is of good character, as attested in writing by 2 Ghanaians, being notary public lawyers or senior public servant. He has not been sentenced to any period of imprisonment in Ghana. He is able to speak and understand an indigenous Ghanaian language. Roxanne. He is a person who has made or who is capable of making a substantial contribution to the progress or advancement in any area of national activity. He is a person who has been assimilated into the Ghanaian way of life, or who can easily be so assimilated. He intends to reside permanently in Ghana in the event of a certificate being granted him. He possessed a valid resident permit on the date of his application. Time frame for the application, 6 months. Fees and charges, Form 5, 7,758 Ghana cedis. A lot of applications will be coming to you. Without scrutiny, a lot of people will get naturalized as Ghanaians. And sometimes we overlook some of these qualifications because of the IGF involved. Very important. By so doing, you would have opened the country up for insecurity. What will you be doing to assist your minister to ensure that any applicant who brings any application for naturalization satisfies these requirements to ensure that the sanctity or the security of this country is protected? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think that if my minister decides to get me involved, you have just given us a checklist. I can assure you that I am going to be very, very meticulous when it comes to looking at such requirements. And where I need to seek legal advice, I will, to support, taking very good decisions about who becomes a citizen of this country. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a very important area because lawyers like the firm will be bringing attestations, and you have to be very careful. My second question is on the health facilities of the institutions under the Ministry of Interior. I think I only know of the police hospital. I don't know of any hospital owned by the prisons, the immigration. I stand to be corrected. I think with the numbers, we need serious health facilities to support the activities because of the operations they undertake. What are some of the strategies you'll be proffering to your boss so that if in the event that this house approves of you,
thank you very much. I think that came up, this issue, Mr. Chairman, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This issue came up, during my boss's interview, and he made it clear that apart from police hospital, prisons and fire do not have health facilities, and I believe that I will keep him on his toes, remind him as and when the opportunity comes. We will make sure that whoever is supposed to provide us with the funds to get those things, those health facilities established, will do so. Because of the lack of health facilities in these prisons, they have to resort to taking the
on private security companies, their licensing, their registration, licensing, and also the licensing of bullion vans, weapons and bullets, gunpowder, and what have you, are some of the things that I believe, with your experience, having been at the Ministry of Defense before, you have to support your minister in ensuring that some of these licenses are given to responsible people to operate. And you being a chemist or something like that, biochemist, I don't know, a former parliamentary candidate for Forikrom, Kumasi. We know you don't have state-of-the-art forensic laboratories for these institutions, and I think with your background you need to encourage that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to do my best to get some of these things to support my boss in the ministry. But he was the MPP chairman when I was the candidate. Where we belong to the same club, and then we came here, we found ourselves on the same committee. So that is the chemistry. Thank you.
And you did a lot together on that committee.
Very well. To help Madam Nana.
Very well. I wish you the very best.
Thank you very much. Honorable Shaibu, it's your turn to take the floor.
Chairman, thank you so much for the opportunity. Chair, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I know you've answered questions in many areas, including accommodation, but I want to just take you back to that, because that was very critical for the police service. I note that the numbers have increased. If you go to most of the district capitals, you will find so many police personnel. So the first thing is, if your arrangements will permit, would you suggest to your minister to redeploy them, not just in the district capital, but to the other bigger towns and communities within the district? That's a starting point. If you tie that to the second bit, that still has to do with accommodation. Most of the new districts, including mine, created about some 12 years ago, still don't have housing facility for the headquarters of the police service itself, let alone accommodation for the many personnel that have been posted there. As a result, you will find police personnel, virtually like tenants in the community. I know familiarity sometimes breeds contempt. And so once they are with the community people and law enforcement become compromised, I would want to suggest if you take that on board, as you support your minister, to look at first the redeployment of the police personnel, if your arrangement will permit, to the other bigger communities within the, given that you make adequate accommodation facility for them. That's my first bit. That I want to. So the second one has to do with the military barracks. So if you move away from the barracks, you now have training centers. I know there are a few of them dotted across the country. My constituency and district is proud to be hosting one of your barracks. That's in Daboya. I think that it's been expanded. The previous administration tried to do some expansion of that, but it still falls short of the basic requirements and facilities that you really need to do proper training. Would you consider, upgrading and putting military and security training has become technical now, not the physical we knew many years ago. That's a suggestion I want to put across to you, if you would consider suggesting to your minister and how you carry that across.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, did you say military? I think the defense minister was here to answer a lot of questions on that. If I hear you that, which one of the police? I think that yes, indeed, there are modern ways of policing, and it requires the deployment of technology. I was reading the text just a few hours before I came in, and there's this suggestion that brick and mortar police training, grounds or schools, can be changed. Because the world is evolving, security is evolving, everything is evolving, and we need to move with that. Where, technology, a lot of things are being deployed now. So I think that the bottom line, as I said, is your ability to pay for some of these things because they are expensive. So in the meantime, we'll get them on our books, as and when we have what it takes. We can go for, such facilities to enhance training of our personnel. Thank you.
On that note, I wouldn't ask questions about your capability. I know you've done it before, and I wish you all the best in your next.
Thank you very much.
I will now invite the Chief Whip to come in.
Chairman, thank you very much. Let me, my brother. You're welcome. and congratulations.
Thank you.
When I entered this house in January 2017, you were one of the seniors who tutored me in the ways of the house. And so I'm happy to see you where you sit.
Thank you very much.
And I have no doubt that you succeed. Now, I have two concerns, and I believe you share one. Between a Sherman roundabout and a Skuma in the Sojaman district, a distance of 85 kilometers. We have over 15 police military barriers. And so, anytime I'm traveling to my constituency, I go through these police barriers and military checkpoints. Even me, as a member of parliament, it's a drudgery. So you can see the difficulties this poses for our average Ghanaian. Sometimes we have to fight practically with the security men. Because before you enter, you go onto that bridge, there's a police military and now immigration barrier. You go off the bridge, there's a police military barrier. You negotiate around the hill towards Manu Atakope. Before the Boss Farm Tanks, you have two barriers actually. Now there is even a notice of a national security barrier. Before you enter Joapon, there are two barriers, military and police. You exit Joapon, there's a police barrier. You get to Nudu, Abuasa, you have police barriers. Apigusu, you have Frankedia. And then the outskirts of Eskuma, you have two barriers actually. You get to Eskuma, you have a GRA barrier and a customs barrier. Now, I haven't mentioned the Afia Shai Hills one through Bong. So, what will you do as the deputy to the Honorable Muntaka that these barriers are removed? It appears that those of us from the eastern frontier, we are profiled. We are so profiled that when you are exiting, you are checked. When you are going, you are checked. Yes, in Askuma, when you get to Askuma, it's as if you are entering another republic. The immigration officers, what they take our people through is unacceptable. So my question is, will you consider removing these barriers? So my constituency in Peki, Bali, Kwebe, Tongo, and Sanga can move freely within the frontiers of the Republic of Ghana.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I think I just, narrated my experience with the Kwapim Mountains and the number of barriers. I think that we need to assess the situation. Let me give you my personal experience. The reason sometimes I think that we need to be very careful when we are dealing with some of these barriers. 2013, I came to Parliament. We closed around 1 a.m. On my way back, the police, I think I saw about 3 barriers. The first one, I avoided them. The next one, my instinct told me stop, and I did. Little did I know that there were armed robbers, if you know of Ofusumasi. the police who stopped me did not even know that, they have laid siege there. But then the 5 or 10 minutes that I spent with them, some vehicle came and they repaired. Yes. So sometimes we need to assess the situation. I am not saying that some of them are wayward. Some of them just mount the barrier to a stop. But I believe that my recommendation to my boss will be that let's get the police command to do a proper assessment of the areas. And where we think that they have to move the barrier, we have to. Because if we go out there just remove the barriers, it will also serve as another problem for us, because people will feed on it. The criminals are always around. And I believe that their presence sometimes also wards off. In spite of, apart from what they do to, road users, their presence gives us some confidence as we drive in the night. Those of us who drive in the night. So I think we need to really do proper assessment before we get them out of the road. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, my final concern. My constituency, South Dine, we produce a lot of national figures in the security services. I can give a tall list of them. But training institutions for these security services are being built in a lot of places. Will you consider building one in my constituency, South Dine?
Thank you, Chair. We had the first Ghanaian police, yes, from my constituency. So if we have to start, we have to start with the ones in problem. If that is the consideration, that's on the lighter side. But I think that we need to look at we need to look at your request case by case, and depending on the availability of funds to build. And I just said something to the effect that because of technology, you may not need to establish brick and tile, before you can train the police in an area or the security in an area. So that will also be considered. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Once more, congratulations.
You are right.
But Chairman, let me use the opportunity to clarify this matter. That my brother, Mahama Shaibu, his heart created a lot of problems. It was not intentional. Yes. Chairman, so they should take note. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Honorable nominee, congratulations.
Thank you.
Nomination. You and I go a very far. And I was wondering whether I didn't serve on the forestry, Lands and Forestry Committee with you. Yes, I wasn't too sure about that. But Honorable, let's go to your CV, page 2. Is it page 2 of your CV? Honorable, I observed that within a period of about 5 years, you held about 4 different portfolios. What was the cause for that? Between the year 2011 to 2015, you held about 4 different portfolios. And in all You were serving in the capacity of a deputy minister.
Yes.
You are still the deputy minister. What was the reason for those changes? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I'm a sportsman and a footballer. And I remember there was a time I told my coach that I should change my position. Then he told me, "There, you know why I always keep you as the number 3? When you are there, I am confident that the 9 will always score. The number 9 will always score. I am sure when I'm there, the minister will perform." Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable. Another observation on your CV, that's page number 3. Your service to your community. I don't know whether it's a continuous service or you served at a period.
In fact, I need to update that CV.
Should I seek the leave of the chair to include the period?
Yes.
So for record purposes.
But I can't get it all.
Thank you.
Just do that.
And I think on this page 4.2, the same thing on item, I don't know, vice chairman and the Are you still the vice chairman? You.
I was.
So it's important that you serve as vice. So, Mr. Chair, you are seeking your leave.
So,
Honorable Taylor, I don't have any doubt at all that you can perform.
thank you very much. Thank you.
At the assigned position that you've been given. But everybody, I make everybody aware that there is an affirmative act that is in place now. And it's not just going to be placed on the table, and we need action on that. And no recruitment into the police service, fire service, and all that. You've done very well in recruiting so many women. But you have still not achieved the required percentage of 30%. So how are you going to assist your minister to ensure that because this one is a compelling one, it's not something that you can postpone to another day. So may I know?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the military some few years ago undertook a program to encourage the youth to demystify what they do at their various camps. And the assessment after having days and whatever. A lot of women got interested in becoming Navy, military, police, whatever. I think that I would advise same for the Ghana police, the other security services to have an open day, a day to interact with, especially the communities where they have their training institutions. Interact with the communities, get them encouraged, and let them understand that whoever is in uniform is a civilian, and they can be like them. I think this is a way to get our women to get interest in some of these services, because at the end of the day, it's a choice that you have to make. And sometimes what they hear and what they see from afar influences their decision. But when they get close, you realize that after all, it's an area that can also be path, so they can get involved. So, Mr. Chair, I think that is my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Nominee. I don't think I totally agree with you. I partially agree with you that we need to create the awareness, we need to educate. But there's a bit of the sector also making the effort to ensure that you attain the figure 30% as an initial need. So it is you as a deputy minister and your minister who are responsible to ensure that. But you know, there are so many people who apply for these positions, especially with the recruits and all that. And yet only few take it. That's exactly what I demand of you. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, when it comes to recruitment, beyond showing interest, you must qualify. Not in terms of academics, but then physically, you must qualify. Yes, you go to a lot because sometimes a lot of people are brought on board, but along the line, they fail basic medical tests, not the making of which is not the making of recruiting authority. So yes, we want to encourage them. We must also make sure they take care of themselves, so that during the process they are not found wanting in terms of their health, so that they can easily be taken on board. Thank you.
Are you not just stereotyping and showing traces of biases in this respect? Thank you.
No. It's the case. It is the reality. It is the reality. Yeah, Father, I was part of the committee that shepherded this bill, and you know the role I played, and I would not let it just lie on it. We'll make sure we bring it on board. And as I said, much as we would want to meet the levels that we set for ourselves, whoever is recruited must also be able to stand the test of time. Otherwise, you go and the consequences are dire. If you have a certain medical condition, and they put you to go and swim, and you go and don't come back. That's another thing. So that's the reason why they are very careful when it comes to the medical. Thank you very much.
Honorable Hadi, follow up.
All right, thank you. You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
I just want to make a follow-up on my sister's question on the 30%. We are all fully aware that you are the minister, and it's a policy, and we have the law now backing it. It's not an issue of medical, because we have the women there, the girls there. How do you get the men being able to get the percentages that you want, but you cannot get the women?
You may continue.
Thank you very much. Honorable Nominee. In my constituency, the police in the districts and in the division have been complaining of lack of vehicles to perform their duties creditably. As an assembly, we were able to allocate them with some. I personally had to give them motorbikes to also do their work. But I don't know, how are you going to support your minister to ensure that for the police to operate creditably or be able to perform their duties to the satisfaction of the citizens? These vehicles must be available to them to work. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Chair, you see these documents for me. These are briefings from all the units under our ministry. And it cuts across all of them have problem vehicles, one equipment or the other. I think that as my boss said, we would have to really talk to the finance minister with the support of the president. And I believe that we'll be able to get the necessary finance to get these equipment that are needed for them to charge their duties creditably. Thank you very much.
Finally, Honorable, women and children are often the victims of human trafficking. And as a deputy minister, I know you are not developing the policies. The laws are there, the right policies are there. How will you ensure the strengthening of the anti-human trafficking laws and ensure better victim support service? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. As you rightly said, I'm the deputy. If I'm given the opportunity to manage that, I'll make sure that I sit with the various institutions that are involved and make sure that we work towards achieving a reduction, if not eliminating, child trafficking in this country of ours. Thank you very much.
Right. As a follow-up, if you are not given that opportunity, what happens? Does it mean the area should be left unattended?
Certainly, if I'm somebody else giving that.
Pardon?
If I am not giving, somebody else will give that duty. And as and when I get opportunity, I can also advise or prefer any solution to whatever the person may be working with.
So far as I'm concerned, you are the only deputy available to support the minister. There's no other deputy. I don't think I prefer to hear that if you are not given the opportunity. There should be a way to communicate with your minister to get things done. That's what I expect from you.
Thank you very much. I will play my part when it comes to the issue about child trafficking, to make sure that we reduce that business in our society. Thank you very much.
I'm done, Mr. Chair. Congratulations in advance.
Thank you very much. Honorable Jerry, you will be next. And then after that, I will wrap it up. So you are basically standing between us and the next nominee. Thank you.
You, honorable nominee, Congratulations to you.
Thank you, my brother.
I see that you are a married man. But I'm not sure your wife is here to support you.
No.
Do you have any reasons why? Honorable nominee, are you stingy?
What do you understand by being stingy?
As somebody
Very well. Can you please withdraw that word?
Very well. Most guided, Mr. Chair. Honorable nominee. In 2019, there was an issue in your constituency that had to do with prepaid meters. I think you should come let me finish my question. That had to do with prepaid meters. And you promised your constituents that you were going to ensure that the prepaid meters will not be used when you are voted for. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Are prepaid meters used in your constituency?
Yes.
Was there a shooting incident when the ECG officers decided to come and install prepaid meters in your constituency?
There was.
And what role did you play? You were the member of parliament. So I'm asking, what role did you play? Did you in any way or form say to your people you would find a way of resolving the matter for them not to use prepaid meters subsequently?
Thank you very much. I don't know if we would have enough time to explain this. But whatever happened in my constituency must be very well understood.
Hold on, Honorable Nominee. Let me just give the floor to Honorable Chief Whip.
Chairman, thank you very much. Chairman, this matter came to Parliament, and Parliament gave some directives. A committee an ad hoc committee was constituted to go to the constituency to inquire into the matter and brought a report. Subsequently, some directives were given, and the ECG proceeded on that directive. I recall the honourable member returned to the House in a follow-up question directed at the Minister and complained that some directives given by Parliament were not being implemented. There were follow-up steps taken by the Ministry to ameliorate the situation. So, if the honourable member may be guided in shaping his question, and I believe it can be properly situated, because it was a matter that engaged Parliament and Parliament stepped in.
Well, thank you for the guidance, but I'm sure you could have said the same thing. I do not think that I was asking the question out of any mischief. It's just for him to clear, because I've had questions from some of your constituents asking me. So that's the basis for the question. What's the scientific name for Prekese?
Thank you. Tetrapura.
Pardon me.
Tetrapura.
So what as a biochemist, what are the benefits of Prekese?
Thank you very much. I'm sure, serious. But it is a fruit that I worked on extensively as a researcher. It has a lot of active principles, medicinal, that depending on your situation can be good for your health, for hypertension, for other ailments. Yeah, including
Honorable Nominee.
Hello.
That's not what you have been lectured on today. So if you can just make it short so we can make progress.
Honorable Chair, I just respectfully need to remind Honorable Chair that I am doing this as the ranking at this point. And I have to some extent unlimited access to getting information and knowledge. And this is a very relevant question. In fact, I was going to link it to some other matters, and that's the more reason why I asked. So please, with all due deference.
Thank you. What I'm saying is that it is hypertension, and it has other, food is attractive sometimes based on color and the flavor. So precursor also gives flavor to food. Yeah.
Is it so up until today I didn't even know it is a food. So I expect that no. I thought I heard earlier saying that it is a food. Yes, and I'm saying I did not know. So now I want to find out. As Deputy Minister, is it one of the recommendations you make to your minister that police officers, fire officers, immigration officers?
Honorable Leader, you are out of order.
I do not respectfully know why you are doing this. Because this is coming from a very good side. That if it is something that has medicinal value, is it something you want to propose to the security services to adopt? Because he is the Deputy Minister of the Interior. And so, first of all, my interest would be to your office. Would you want to propose that to your minister that it is okay for security officers or security agencies to? It's yes or no, really.
Thank you very much. Certainly, the military, the security services have physicians, medical officers, and whatever that advice. So depending on advice, you may take some of these things as food supplements. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm happy you emphasized that. At least Chairman here can be used as food supplement. And have you heard of Abofraboni? Do you know of the juvenile?
Yes.
So you know where it is situated? The one at Ridge. Do you in your contemplation still think that it's a better place to still have a prison?
Talking about location or the fact that we have juvenile homes.
Talking about the location.
The location. In fact, that the security services, some of them are seated on prime lands, and they don't necessarily have to be in the heart of the city. And the fact that they lack certain facilities, and we don't have enough money to build for them now. We can in exchange for better facilities outside Accra. we can give that land to the private sector, so they develop facilities cheaper land.
You are older than your minister. Are you going to provide him with the necessary support and not think that because you are older, he cannot respectfully give you instructions when he has to?
Age is a number. And Honorable Mutaka and my good self have worked together for a number of years, even before we met in Parliament. So that's mutual respect between the two of us.
I want to find out, do you also have plans on supporting the minister with reference to insurance for police officers, insurance for immigration officers, insurance for fire officers, prison officers, all the security agencies?
I get opportunity, I'll suggest. If my boss brings that up, I'll join in the discussion to see how far we can get that to the police service.
But the moment you are given approval by this house, that is an opportunity. Is there an assurance you take it up?
Yes.
Do you also think?
Chairman, thank you very much. Honorable nominee, you are aware that we have enactments setting up the police service, the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana Prison Service, the Ghana Fire Service, the Ghana Immigration Service, as well as other agencies under your ministry. Now, in respect of insurance policy for the personnel, if the statute does not permit that, you cannot introduce it by policy. You agree?
Right, so, Chairman.
And therefore, if you want to consider that, you may have to come by amendments to the existing legislations.
Right, so, Mr. Chairman.
I thank you.
You may go ahead.
Do you know or not whether security officers or those under the Ministry of Interior have anything with reference to risk allowances?
I don't know.
Would you want to find out, and if it's not there, that would be one of the suggestions you make to the Honorable Minister? Because as you are aware, for instance, fire service, they go trying to quench fire, as in the police service. So I know some of the operatives in the Greater Accra office, they do all manner of night duties and dawn duties, and people are even shot and all of that. So if they do not have any risk allowance, how are they protected? What is the site in even going out to go and do their jobs? So is that something you would want to consider and share with the Honorable Minister?
Certainly, I will.
There is also another aspect of conflict resolution, where people have gone to, in fact, what I mean by people is the security agencies, maybe the police. They've been sent to say Boku to help resolve the conflict, but some of the reports we had are indicative of some allegations, including women being harassed, including shops being closed and asking the women to bring food. How are you going to advise the Honorable Minister to deal with some of these issues?
What I know is that when the security is deployed to such areas, they are supposed to go and protect, provide security for the people. As to asking for food and other things, I don't know, because my experience is that before they are deployed, they are giving rations, they are giving what it takes to keep them there. So going for food and but I'm not well. If I get to the ministry, we'll find out. And if there's a need for us to investigate, we'll do that.
Do you have an idea how much a prisoner feeds a day?
When I listened to my boss when he was interviewed, he said one CD, 88 pesos, and he thought it was woefully inadequate.
So you are going to recommend that it should be 10 cities of 15 cities?
No.
Going to recommend an increment to your boss?
Certainly. Once you recognize that it is not adequate, it means there must be some improvement. So but that will depend on my boss.
Have you considered using other people in cells for labor rather than just those in prisons? Is that something you would want to consider and perhaps recommend?
Cells.
So we have had people in cells for more than 2 days, for more than 40 days, for more than, in some instances.
I think that I don't know whether we are referring to remand prisons or because the remand prisons are not being convicted. You are not even sure of their status when it comes to the prisons. But where they are convicted and they are sentenced, yes. If they are yes, they can be deployed to do other things.
Let me come in. Mr. Nominee, you are aware that merely being in cells does not make you a prisoner. You are aware. Because we have all been in cells before, even as entities. When we were resisting the system, we had come back. Okay. Yes, it's a form of a cell. Your mobile has been limited. Now, so you are not a prisoner. Now, even where you are a prisoner, you can only be deployed and to undertake certain works on behalf of the state and under certain conditions. You are aware. So if you are going to roll out a policy, a wholesome policy to cover all prisoners to be deployed into some form of work on behalf of the state, it means you must come back to Parliament with an amendment to the law. Establishing the Ghana Prison Service.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't think that the idea is to just go into wholesale deployment of prisoners. No, but prisoners. As we speak, the prison service is building work camps. And these are the camps are being inhabited by the prisoners. And the activities, they're purely agriculture. They give them land. As prisoners, they work on the land, they produce. And as I indicated earlier, when they produce in excess, they sell. To people outside the prison, they feed themselves. So I don't think that we are going to just go out there and get all prisoners, irrespective of whatever crime you are, convicted of. No. They have a way of assessing them and deploy them.
Okay, relatedly, there's a new program reported in Burkina Faso where prisoners are deployed on state farms and when they perform creditably, their prison terms are reviewed downwards. Would you consider introducing such a policy?
That would be a bad, policy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please continue.
Honorable nominee, are you aware of the terminology ghettos?
No, Mr. Chairman. Is it an English word?
So it's a terminology used for young men and women who have converted to a particular place that they normally have some sort of fun, including drinking and smoking. You have not heard of this before?
Okay. Yes. I'm aware of young men living in cells.
Are you aware this is becoming pronounced?
I'm yet to look at the extent, but I know they exist. But I believe that there's some work, some data can be built on that. Thank you.
So, these are young men who sometimes have no work to do, and the perception or the allegation is that they normally get involved in all manner of crimes. And this is when they are done engaging in a particular crime, that is more of a hideout. And I just want to find out from you, as the Deputy Minister of Interior, if at all you may have plans of getting most of these people transitioned into real employment and something better than where they find themselves.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think you've answered the question. You said that they are jobless. Once we get them the opportunity to grab some jobs, I'm sure some of them who abandon, those places and get themselves, thank you.
Honorable nominee, in the context of national security, how do you hope to address concerns about political influence over key security positions?
Can you clarify which of the positions? Because when you take the Constitution, if it is appointment, the police, we have those that are appointed by the President, those that are appointed by the Police Council, and then the management itself. So whichever.
So in recent times, I saw a correspondence or a publication appointing one Mr. Japa as a National Director of Operations, National Security. So it's at the back of this, I'm asking this particular question.
What's your question?
So let me ask the question again. In the context of national security, how do you address concerns about political influence over key security positions that may or that might affect the integrity of law enforcement and intelligence gathering?
If I understand his question, political influence in key appointments. Is that what? National security. But national security doesn't fall under the Ministry of Interior. I think they have a ministry of their own. And it's under the office of the President. It's under the office of the President now. So whoever is appointed, and the Constitution gives the President the authority, the power to appoint.
I'm sure you are aware of the Gaming Commission. How is your ministry going to liaise the Gaming Commission to, as it were, ensure that those who are operating some games are doing that within the laws, within the confines of the law?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I know about the Gaming Commission, but I'm not too conversant. But when I get to the ministry, given the opportunity, I will look at the operations, and I'm sure we have professionals within the ministry that have some experience dealing with this commission, and based on whatever advice they will give or whatever they will tell us about their problem with Gaming Commission, we will look at it and advise accordingly. Thank you.
Mr. Nominee, I wish you well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Jerry. Mr. Nominee.
Mr. Chairman.
Few minutes.
Sharp.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I just want to draw your attention to your tax clearance certificate that I have here. In 2024, there is a 47,056.66, which is a credit and a debit. It doesn't look right. So I don't know if it's caught your attention.
Mr. Chairman, what I sought to do was to send a request. They brought this. I have not really looked at it. And thank you very much for drawing my attention, because I don't have the professional eye, when it comes to taxes.
Take a look at it, and I grant you, the leave to get it corrected if they need be.
Thank you very much.
Now I want to go to the loved ones who came to support you, and and just acknowledge them. John Mate, who's a lower Menya constituency chairman, Nene Abena the fourth. Okay. Nene, all right. Nene, the fourth. JPM Divisional Chief. I hope I got that one right. Okay. So Nene, Lano, Dom Memelisi, Asafachi. And Otiemi Sika, Saki the third, linguist to the Parliament. And then Manya, the second, the divisional queen mother. Dom, divisional queen mother. And Manya again, Koleki, deputy Maramount queen mother. And Sheikh Mukhtar Abdul, Pong chief imam. And Reverend and Mrs. Tete, Agbomenya, Church of Pentecost District Pastor, and WO1 retired William Asum Kole, nominees, family head. Then I have the daughters of nominees here, Joy, Padiki, Telabi, Padiki, Grace, Padiko, Telabi, and Hannah. Mali Telabi. These are the names I have here. Thank you very much for coming to support the nominee. On this occasion, I would like to say that you have been discharged by the committee, and you hear from the committee. You are discharged.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
In the name of the Almighty God, swear.
Do in the name of Almighty God, swear.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
Touching the matter in issue.
Touching the matter in issue.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me.
So help me God.
Honorable nominee, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable nominee, can you in 2 minutes? In 2 minutes, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Chairman, my name is Samson. I was born on 14 September 1976 at Sajibodi. I attended Bodi Anglican Primary School, continued to Bodi Anglican Primary School. I did my O-level at Bibiani Secondary School, and did my A-level at Nkrofo Agriculture Secondary School. I did my first degree at the University of Ghana and did my master's at Jimpa and also did LLB at Jimpa. I did my national service at Bodi Anglican JSS. After school, I joined the cocoa industry by working with Amajero Ghana Limited First, as district manager at Adabokrom, I was promoted to become the sector manager for the Western North region, and I contested 204 parliamentary elections at Gaboso, and I won and came to Parliament on the 7th of January 2005, and since then I have been in Parliament. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. I will start with the Honorable Kofi Mafu. You have the floor.
Thank you, Chairman. Congratulations, Senior Honorable Samson. Very senior Samson. Honorable, I want to find out from you. I want you to tell this committee your understanding in 1D, 1F. I want you to tell us.
Can you, the question you are asking to the nominee who is just about to enter into the Ministry of Trade about more or less a defunct policy. Can you clarify what exactly you want?
Honorable Chair, with all due deference, I think that it's not fair to say that the policy is a defunct policy. Oh, no, it's not. Why is 1D, 1F? Why the factories have been closed? How do you sit there and make such allegations? I mean, we've heard other members, Honorable Chair, who have come to this very committee, and they've proposed continuity. So let's be decorous, please.
I think, yeah. The President yesterday, I think, met with the bishops, the Christian Council, and said that he needed about 1.7 billion for the Agenda 111 projects. When the Trade Minister came here, she also made the point that she would look at that policy and some of the interventions made under the 1D1F and support them. Same with the Finance Minister, same with Honorable Ampem when he just left. So it's not defunct.
I think let's get it straight. Let's get it straight. Could be choice of words. But Agenda 111 was an, let's say, a policy methodology of the MPP government. The policy methodology of the NDC is 24-hour economy. So, if you are asking a question about the 24-hour economy, which you are infatuated with, that's great. But if you want to explain to you what you understand by a ministry is yet to go in to understand the policy you are talking about, because the policy, as I explained to you, is a policy that you can say, and you have reference to it on several occasions, that it's in our manifesto, 24-hour economy. But if you are talking about the policy in a ministry that he is about to go to, because your question is how he understands it, and I'm not sure that is something that he's in a position to answer.
Chairman, 1D1F, the overarching policy, was brought before the House, and we debated it. It was a 5-year plan that the House debated and approved of it, and set some parameters within which entities who applied for support could fit or find themselves in. Honorable Ahi is a 6th-term MP. He knows the policy so well. So I don't think it's a very dangerous question for him to answer. Please, he's a very intelligent man. 6th-term member of Parliament, uncontested. People fear to contest him.
Honourable member, let's hear your question again.
Mr. Chair, my question is very simple, and like my colleague said, the six-time MP was here when 1D1F came. So I just want to find out his understanding, just his understanding.
Okay, fair enough. Honourable nominee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, when the 1F was introduced by SYNPP government, which means one district, one factory, was an attempt by the NPP government to industrialize Ghana so that they will create industries in all the districts. Whether or not that was achieved is another issue, but it was an effort on the part of NPP government to create more factories, industries, so that they can create jobs for Ghanaians.
Mr. Chairman, follow-up.
Please go ahead.
Coming from a rural constituency where we do a lot of agriculture, and knowing 1D1F as a starting point where we can do more export and earn a lot of export exchange or foreign exchange, and then creating job opportunities for our teeming youth. Do you consider it as a good policy or not?
Mr. Chairman, 1D1F, if well implemented, can be described as a good policy or program. But the nature in which it was implemented, as I said, the idea was to establish industries or companies in all the districts. But in my district, for instance, we didn't benefit from the program. And so, yeah, but that is the fact. So if well executed, one can describe it as a good policy.
Mr. Chairman, my second question. My second question is about business regulatory reforms. I was a Deputy Minister of Trade, so I understand what business regulatory reforms was all about. Fortunately, we had Dr. Tuata, who was spearheading the reforms. And there was a roadmap for the reforms, for instance, permitting, certification, and other business regulations. I want to find out from you, if we confirm you as a Deputy Minister, what are you going to do with your minister here? What are you going to do to make sure the business regulatory reforms is carried through for our business community to enjoy the reforms? I want to ask you this question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, when you give the Lord, I will study that reform together with my minister, who will take it on board and make sure that it is implemented for businesses to benefit from it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
My follow-up, Mr. Chairman. There is a bill currently before Parliament for the business regulatory reforms to now have a bite when reforms are to be administered but entities refuse to administer them. Are you going to, with the permission from your minister, follow this up and make sure that the bill becomes an act?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'm not actually aware of the existence of this bill before Parliament. But if there is, we'll study it and then make sure the right thing is done. After all, at the end of the day, is to promote business in the country. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, my last question. Trade facilitation is a cardinal principle with the Trade Ministry. And for that matter, port services must also be looked at seriously and carefully. Shippers Authority has an amendment to their existing act. And fortunately, Trade Ministry has a representative on the board of Shippers Authority. Now, the new act or the amended act seeks to give the Shippers Authority the right to approve fees and charges of the shipping business community. I want to find out from you, is this something that you are going to consider critically and make sure that the approval from the Shippers Authority is done, but not what we are experiencing? I'm asking you this question because if you go to the port now, shipping lines charge the way they want to charge. They don't even consider the Shippers Authority in their charges. So I want to find out from you, having a representative on the Shippers Authority board, and the traders are your people, how you are going to make sure that approval is given to every entity in the port before they can go ahead to charge.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, when you read the law, I will study this approval concepts by the Shippers Council and find out why, as you said, some industry players did not accept it. And so I will look at it and make the necessary recommendation to my minister for its implementation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Nominee, Honorable Nominee. I wish you the best.
Thank you, Chairman.
Honorable, I'm going to the right, and I come to the left, please. So, you
speak like this.
Yeah.
I try to assume the position of the
Please
chair.
go ahead.
Chairman, thank you very much for the opportunity. Honorable Insamson, congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
As a former chairman for the Western North Caucus, your secretary is now before you. I know what you can do because you've done it before. And then going to a very sensitive ministry like trade, there are a lot of agencies that will come under you. So it is my prayer that you consult your minister 24/7 so that both of you can deliver on your mandates. But by the end of the day, the people of Western North will also be proud of you that you got the nod and you delivered. So, Honorable Minister Nominee, can you share with us at least areas of concern to you in respect of trade facilitation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, coming from the western of the area concerned to me is the fact that over the years we have been producing cocoa and we don't add value to the cocoa. And so I want to believe that as captured in the NDC manifesto, that we will embark on industrialization. I will be happy to see that by the end of my tenure, we will have cocoa processing company in the western north so that the cocoa beans can be processed. And also look at other areas where they have competitive advantage with regards to farm produce so that many factories can be established so that farm produce can be processed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. And I'm very happy to hear this from you. By so doing, the people from the Western North region will also get a job to do. So, Honorable Nominee, I wish you well. May God be with you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Now I come to you, Honorable Murphy. You have the floor.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Honorable Nominee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You know you're my brother, so this one is a very easy step for us. You know, Ghana is gradually, potentially becoming a hub of agribusiness in the West African sub-region. I guess we have to show so much interest in it now. That's how come the President has designated a minister responsible for agribusiness and trade. But there are issues in the area of production, agricultural production, produce, and market access. What innovative initiatives can you propose to be able to bridge the gap between agricultural production and market access so that Ghanaian farmers can compete favorably in the local, both the local and international markets?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, you are right to say that there is no linkage between agricultural produce and processing it. And if you look at what the President has done, the President is putting much attention on agribusiness. And that is why he has created Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. So it is an attempt to add value to agricultural produce. It's an attempt to package agricultural produce so that they will become marketable both locally and at the international level. Give you the Lord, I will support my minister to work so that the President's objective of adding value to agricultural produce will be achieved. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Ghana used to be the leader in the garment and textiles industry in the sub-region.
Is this a follow-up?
No,
or is it a new
I
question?
decided to ask a different question now. So what's the second question?
All right, okay.
And so in the area of garment and textiles, we used to be the leader. But for some time now, Benin has overtaken us, and they are doing wonders. It will interest you to note that at the last annual meeting of Afro-Exim Bank in the Bahamas,
that sector was given a very huge boost in the area of some facility extended to them, which was very good. What strategies can you bring to bear, to support your minister to be able to get us back on the stream as the best in class as far as garment and textiles is concerned in the sub-region? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, in the 80s and the early 90s, the textile industry employed about 30,000 people in this country. Same cannot be said today. Mr. Chairman, last week, my minister paid a visit to Japan textile factory, and my information is that that industry has been closed down because, as we speak, they owe snakes to the tune of 3.1 million Ghana cedis. They owe ECG to the tune of 9 million Ghana cedis. And they are unable to pay ECG, and for that matter, ECG has cut their power. And so they are not in operation now. And I think that looking at the number of employments that the textile industry offers to Ghanaians, as a government, we should look for a strategic partner so that we can capitalize these important factories so that they continue to produce textiles, to create wealth, to create employment for our country. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
On the issue of Japan, it has become a waste of everybody's time. For me, I don't stand to be corrected. I believe that there's no need for us to invest a dime in the operations of Japan. I'm talking to you as a former deputy minister in charge of industry. So on the basis of that, I suggest, or I put it to you direct, that if you can highly recommend that government should be bold enough to take a very strong decision to close that business or fold the business up, to be able to save government some money, which can be maybe transferred to another place to help us develop as a country. Because note that government is spending more, we are not getting anything from that investment. And therefore, I would like to know your take on that issue. Thank you.
Honorable member.
You're the follow-up, the chairman.
Yes, I know. I'm just intervening here just to ask you whether the question you have asked is your personal view, or because you did mention, what you're a deputy minister of trade, which I do know. But was that your position then, or is it your personal position?
It has always been my position, and I've said it, and I even wrote a paper to the honorable minister on that issue. After visiting them, I'm sure the minister now is even aware of the situation. As an investment, government is spending so much on and getting absolutely nothing. And it's also interesting to know that one of the institutions that embarrassed the ministry is that agency of government. Because you'll be there and you'll be called to public accounts to come and explain what they do. And it looks so embarrassing sometimes. So is that just a suggestion, please? I just want to be able to.
Nominee, please go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, the honorable member's suggestion will be taken on board when I get to the ministry. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, it was going to be my last question, but for the sake of solidarity, because we are custodians, and Honorable Nelson Tafewepo and Patrick Boama here are my contemporaries, and he wanted to know something about freedoms, so I'm doing that on your behalf. If you indulge me, please. on the issue of free zones, the Free Zones Act 504 clearly positions Ghana's free zones as export processing zone, which is not too good in modern day free zones, because the best in class in free zones, if in the whole world, now has moved from export processing zones to now venturing into special economic zones and smart zones, which have become very lucrative in business. What suggestions or what strategies can you put in place to be able to advise your minister to also put pressure on institution-free zones to be able to move away from the export-oriented free zones to special economic zones?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, before I can put pressure on my minister to consider encouraging economic zone in this country, we first of all have to look at the acts which establishes the Free Zone Board. At the moment, they are implementing their mandate. That is basically on export. If we want them to divert to economic zones, we first of all have to look at the law. And so I will recommend to the minister, if that is the way we have to go, then we amend the law to allow them to incorporate economic zones as part of their activities. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ahi. A follow-up question. You're my brother. We are doing it together. Don't worry at all. Thank you very much. Free zones investment has also not been too good over the period. We have not been able to attract very good investments to this country. And this is also a worry. I mean, based on the fact that we've been so much focused or fixated on export processing zones. So that my point is, don't you think there's a need for us to do something about investment promotion or trying to attract very important and strategic investments into the free zones, other than just allowing any other investments to enter the free zones? What do you think about that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, if you look at the Free Zones Act, they have a mandate to do a particular job. That is to encourage businesses to take advantage of the incentives in operations at the free zones. Maybe the incentives are not enough. That is why we are not attracting the necessary and important industries into the free zone. So I think we have to look at that aspect of the free zone concepts so that we can encourage or attract more investments into free zones so that we can continue to earn foreign exchange to support Ghana's economy. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Congratulations, my brother. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Honorable Shaibu, I invite you to take the floor. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, let me thank you very much. And Mr. Chief Man, congratulations.
Thank you, Chairman.
That's your mentor. Mr. Speaker, let me make it clear to the custodians here that on a typical power night, they get lost. Let's do trade liberalization. Just a bit of it. It's a cliche that has caught up in the last many years. In recent times, a very critical product in the real estate business, which is cement, has seen trade liberalization. So many companies have come into the system to produce cement. Quality and price have been very big issues. Tell us, with the help of your minister or in support, how will you do about these two key things? Because of that liberalized market, so many factories have sprung up. We now have issues of quality and price. Tell us what you do about it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, because the cement factory or industry have been liberalized, as we speak, there are 15 companies who are producing cement in our country. With regards to the pricing, as a country, the annual demand of cement is 7.3 million tons. Now, these 15 companies have capacity to produce 8.6 million tons. So one would have expected that because of competition, their prices would have come down. But that is not the case. And so, in the wisdom of the ministry, we have a committee in place made up of members from the Trade and Industry Ministry, Standard Board Authority, and then GRA and Finance, so that, like before cement can be increased, they should consult this committee for clearance before any increases can be done. But there are a whole lot of challenges with regards to that. I want to believe that when I'm given the nod, I will work with my minister to ensure that we bring sanity into pricing of cement in the country. And when it comes to quality too, we have Standard Board Authority to be there to ensure that cement which is produced in this country meets standards. I want to believe that Standard Board will have to do their job to ensure that we get quality cement to support construction of houses and to support the building industry. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, just the last one. Mr. Chairman, I cannot finish without talking about the retail market. Our market women and men have been complaining about the retail market and foreign participation. Walk us through what experiences you glean on the streets, on the markets, about foreign participation in the retail trade, which by law they're not supposed to, and what assurance you will give to our retail traders to give them some comfort. That is, there will be lights at the end of the tunnel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the Investment Promotion Center law provides how a foreigner can participate in the retail trade. For a foreigner to be able to participate in the retail trade, we are expected to invest $1 million. But I want to believe that from what Guta has always been complaining, that the foreigners come in, they don't invest to the tune of $1 million, but they have access to the retail trade. And I believe that It is something that, as a country, and for that matter, the ministry will have to take it up to protect local businesses, to support our brothers and sisters who are into the retail trade so that they can become competitive. Most of these foreigners, when they come, because they get cheap monies from their mother countries, today, if you want to borrow money, you know how much interest you have to pay, about 25%. And the foreigner will take a loan, sometimes even they don't pay interest. So certainly, the local companies cannot compete with the foreigners. So we have to take a deliberate policy to protect our companies or traders in the retail arena. And so I want to assure that with the support of my minister, we will do whatever we can to protect and support local retailers in the country. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
On that note, let me wish the mischief man all the best in your new role. Thank you.
Honorable Member, I will expunge that.
I agree, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Honorable Patrick Bamo, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. We have before us Ahikwaku Samson, a savvy politician, and a very dangerous one as such.
I'll do likewise and expunge what you just said. Please make progress.
Mr. Chairman, why has he run unopposed for 6 terms? I'm telling you the capabilities of this man sitting there. Very, very savvy. Then, okay. I know you are going to be working under a very reasonable minister. And you are going to be one of the busiest deputy ministers. To sit on Cocoa Board, to sit on the board of GRA, Ghana Exim. By law, the minister chairs the Free Zones Board. I don't think you have the time to do that. So, the people of Bodie, yeah, it's an institutional rep, so you'll be there. We'll be looking up to you for the jobs that you promised them on their platform. On their platform, you said you were going to create jobs. Now that you are going to be serving on all these boards, Ahikwaku, what do you have for the people of Bodie? Your brother-in-law is the Minister of Health. So the two of you have captured all the positions in Session. So tell them something, Kwaku.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. President has a vision. His vision is to create jobs for all Ghanaians. When that jobs is created, people from the western of, for that matter, service will benefit from the jobs that will be created by His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, the town roads in Bodie. The town roads in Bodie have been fixed by the MPP administration. True or false, Kwaku?
A big force.
What did we do, Kwaku?
You didn't even add 1 inch of tie road in 8 years in Bodi districts. Yes, 8 years.
You will soon appear before the Government Assurance Committee to answer questions for misleading the committee. 8 years. Are you saying we didn't add 1 kilometer of road in Bodi?
Mr. Chairman, if the honorable member can show me where they tied the road, I will be happy to retract my statement.
Kwaku, we'll be showing you some pictures. We'll be showing you some pictures. This is a green book promise, Kwaku. But, Mr. Chairman, we know Nabwahi. And we know what he can do to assist his boss. And I believe all of us around the table, we've had occasion of working with Nabwahi, and we know he's going to do a very, very, very good job. But remember the good people of Okanekwe Central. I wish you the very best, Kwaku. All the best.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Now call on Honorable Ladi to.
Thank you, Chairman. My dear, congratulations. My greatest problem is that I'm going to be missing you in Parliament. Nobody for me to confer with. The Minister for Agric, same thing. Another person who has been inviting me to his office, he is running away. My sister, Bobo. So, I don't know what to say. You see, but that elevation has not come just because you are an MP, but because you deserve it. You can do it. I know. Because someone just said you have gone 6 times without being contested. You should go and test it and see how it is. That will tell him the reason why you have gone 6 times. Even me, a veteran politician since 1992, I have tried to understand you, I can't. So, congratulations. My issue has to do with the Kwalu Tomato Factory and the Kwalu Dam. I will be very grateful if you can promise me that you, inshallah, if God wills, and you become the deputy minister, based on the agri products, adding value to our products, making sure that our farmers, and for that matter, mostly the women, and even children, I can assure you, but there are some of them that will not even go to school, are ready to work on the farms. That industry, that factory there, will be revamped so that the tomato that comes from Pusiga, Paga, Navrongo, all those surrounding areas, dry season, the women wake at 2 a.m. And when the produce is ready and they are bringing it to the market, basically everybody brings it. And so you can get a whole basin of tomato at 20 cedis. Meanwhile, within 2-3 months, it's gone. Will you promise that you are going to ensure that that factory will be revamped and that we will produce tin tomato from that factory so that our women, especially, I'm not saying the men shouldn't benefit. I don't want someone to say she's against men. No. The women at least will benefit from their hard work. Can you assure me that you are going to continuously remind the minister to ensure that the factory is revamped And why will you be doing that?
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'm happy that Honorable Member is a member of the NDC party. And as you can see from the manifesto, Kwarugu Tomato Factory is one of the factories the President has promised to revamp. I want to believe that we are serious with the content of our manifesto. And so, given the note, Minister will take it up and then we'll make sure that Kwarugu Tomato Factory is brought back. We need to do it because if for nothing, it will create jobs for the people in that catchment area. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, a follow-up question. You would have heard me mention that the women, and for that matter, the dry season farmers, they go to their gardens by 2 a.m. Not for any reason, water. If you don't go early, you wouldn't get enough water. And some of them have decided even to drill boreholes along the rivers in order to get water so that they can work on their plants. The Kwarugu Tomato Factory is not far from the Kwarugu Dam. And I dreamt that the Minister for Energy, for Agric, is going to ensure that there will be irrigation projects. And I know there's a very big, large irrigation area there. But the water sometimes gets finished. But during the rainy season, sometimes when they open the Bagre Dam, even crops are destroyed. The whole place is flooded. People are displaced. Within 2-3 months, the place becomes dry, the water runs off. Will you work hand in hand and encourage the Minister for Agri to ensure that that dam comes to fruition so that we don't continue to lack water when in actual fact, naturally, we get the water and we are not able to retain it, so that dry season gardening, even people from wherever around the country can go there to do dry season gardening. Will you work hand in hand with him so that this can come to fruition? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the agribusiness means that we have to work with the Agric Ministry because they will produce and we will also have to come into process. And if we bring back Kwarugu Tomatoes Factory and we don't have the tomatoes as a raw material to feed the factory, we can't achieve the objective. And so it will be in our interest that the Agric Minister take on board to reactivate or to introduce irrigation farming to support the tomato farmers so that when they produce, then the factory too comes in, then we can process so that that economy can be brought back for people to earn living. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I may have follow-ups, but I think what I have gotten from him will suffice for now. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Chairman.
Honorable Patricia, it's your turn. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Honorable nominee, congratulations.
Thank you, Chairman.
I just have some few issues with your CV. That is all that I want to clarify. If I have to go by your length of time in Parliament and what you have achieved so far, being in ECOWAS for all these years, I don't think I have the right to even ask you a single question. I no doubt have the belief that you're going to perform at your ministry But since this is a house of records, I have to really ask these questions. Honorable nominee, a schoolmate of yours, I don't know whether it's right, because I don't see any Edinamai Secondary School written here. But somebody called me to find out from you whether you attended at the Edinamai Secondary School.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I did. But I did my O-level at BBNE Secondary School. That is why I was talking about certificates and where I acquired the certificates. That is why I limited myself to Edinamai, because I even started from Yosu Secondary School before I went to Edinamai. I finally wrote my O-level at BBNE Secondary School.
Anyway, you are confusing me. I must say you are confusing me. Anyway, that's fine. Yes. I just want you to also tell me the difference between Dwaboso constituency and Bodi constituency.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I contested first in 2004 elections at Dwaboso. At that time, Bodi and Dwaboso was one district, constituency. So I contested in 2004 and contested second time in 2008, all in Dwaboso. The time in 2012, Dwaboso was divided into two. And because I come from Bodi, in 2012 I contested in Bodi. So I did 8 years as MP for Dwaboso, where Bodi was part of Dwaboso. And in 2012, when Bodi was created, I moved to Bodi and contested in the 2012 elections, and that is where I've been contesting up to date.
Honorable nominee, considering your length of time being in Parliament, at what age did you enter Parliament?
Mr. Chairman, I can't remember. I should be around 28, 29, 28. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I don't think I have any answer I mentioned earlier. I don't have any question for you because I don't doubt your capability to perform and assist my senior sister, my junior sister over there successfully. So thank you, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. I come to the Chief Whip now. Honorable Austin, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. My floor captain, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Chairman.
And congratulations. You are one of the key people who called me very early on and said you have a future here, so keep your focus and work hard. You'll do well on this floor. So I thank you for the tutelage.
You're welcome, Mr. Chairman.
Now, we, as a party, we campaign on one of the several teams. Key amongst them is the 24-hour economy. And being in going to the trade ministry, for which especially agribusiness has been added. We are besieged by teaming constituents, asking for support for their tabletop businesses, corner shop businesses, SMEs and all that. How soon will you roll out some program to assist by way of injecting capital. Yes, he's a deputy minister, I know. But our people are anxious that the agribusiness, those who are in the value chain, those who buy the fish from Germany to sell in Adabraka, those who buy the vegetables from Ashaman and come to sell at Nima, how soon can we provide them with some financial support so they can expand their corner shop businesses?
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I think as a country, we need to support SMEs so that they can work to support this economy to grow. If you look at percentage-wise, more than 80% of traders in this country fall under the SMEs. And so any support that has to be harnessed to assist them is something that I believe this government is going to do, particularly given the fact that the president is giving much attention to agribusiness. And so there are some financial institutions that, and there are some agencies that can be supported to assist these businessmen and women at this level. And so, given the nod, I'm sure that even if you look at the 2025 budget, which is being prepared, there's a portion to support this group of people. And given the nod, we'll work to ensure that they are supported so that not only creating jobs, but will provide means of livelihood to this group of people in the country. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
On this note, I want to congratulate you once more. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Your Honorable. And it's now the turn of Honorable Jerry. And then I will bring proceedings to an end. Thank you.
Honorable, congratulations to you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Honorable, I just have one question for you. And I really want you to take me through that. How have you been able to do it 6 times as a member of parliament? As we speak now, you are about 48 years. You started when you were about 27, 28. How have you been? I want to learn from you. And it is a very honest question, please.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, have you allowed this question? Mr. Chairman, have you allowed this question?
How many? You may choose to answer, you may choose not to.
If I may choose to answer, then I will say that I want to thank leader for the question. But I think I want to suggest that we meet in chambers to discuss the details. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
That's valid.
Final question.
Honorable Chair, just to let him understand that I would also want to understand how he did it with two different constituencies, Joabusu and then Bodi. Did you use the same formula?
Mr. Chairman, let's meet in chambers.
The Chair, I wish to commend the nominee and to also extend the felicitations of the minority leader to you. He is excited about your nomination as well. We pray you go and give the very necessary support the minister would expect from you. And we are sure you will deliver. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. I think we've exhausted all the questions around the table. Yeah. And just mine is not actually a question. It's just a request. Mr. Nominee, Honorable, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you, Chairman.
Your ancestry somewhere lies in Cape Coast, in the central region. We built a sugar factory 12 years ago. And that sugar factory is not working at the moment. It hasn't worked. After we had built it on the NDC and it was functioning. So many things. We've spent a taxpayer's money of about $25 million. We don't produce a single sugar in this country. There are countries of similar size to us or slightly bigger who produce, they have about 20 sugar factories in one country. Uganda, if you want to know. Ghana doesn't produce a single. We used to spend $300 million a year, 12 years ago, in importing sugar into this country. Today, I'm sure the figure is more. I know your minister has started doing some work on it. I just want you to go and support your minister to get the Commander Sugar Factory back so we can save taxpayers money of 25 million Exim loan, which we have to pay. That's a request to my chief. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. That will be taken on board.
Thank you very much. I will go ahead and mention the guests who came here to support you, friends and family. And then we thank them for coming to support you. Mrs. Beatrice Safu, the wife of the Honorable Nominee. Nana Kwesi Ofori Abebio, Chief of Body and Adontehene of Wiasu Traditional Council. Nana Ibi Akontombra Hene and Benkumi Hene of Wiasu Traditional Council. Nana Ekua Insia, Queen Mother of Body, Reverend Ando, the Chief Priest, Anglican Church, also in Body. Alaji Shaibu Alasan, District Chief Imam. Mr. Michael Edu, Regional Chairman, NDC, Western Region North. That's Big Edu, I believe. Oh. Madam Comfort Nyaku, Regional Women Organizer, NDC, Western North. And Mr. Eric Frimpon, Constituency Chairman, NDC, yes, same constituency. And Mr. Abed Nego Nkrumah, who is described here as Ebushiepeni. Guests, thank you very much for coming to support the nominee. Mr. Nominee, I congratulate you again, and I know you do a good job. God bless you, and you are discharged. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.